Functional Miss Creeds. I am back with some more spooky stories. So if you guys watched my last spooky stories video, you will see that halfway through I paused because I totally forgot what story I was going to tell. There's another one. I need to think about it. I totally forgot what it was. Yeah, I can't remember it. Whatever. Well, I had promised one of my Miss Creeds that I would tell doll stories because that was something that they really enjoyed hearing about, and I completely screwed it up. I did not say it. I forgot. Completely blanked it. So today's entire video is going to be dedicated to doll stories. So I'm going to be telling you guys and my peanut gallery. Hello, Chris and Sammy. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. So they are also miscreants on the podcast, which we are going to be filming tonight. So if you guys are done watching this, make sure to click on the next video and also Sam's video, which is going to be a story time video. I am going to be eating black bean noodles with vegan cheese, ginger, vegan sausage, and carrots. Also, I look like a clown. Why I had the inspiration to be sherberded today, I don't know, or just look like I popped out of a 80s film. I don't know what. I've been really into the 80s lately. If you have not ever heard of Ninja Sex Party, you really should, because they play some really good songs like Orgy for One or First Date. I will play you guys the songs later because I got some really concerning looks. But that explains my makeup today, like just... Okay, so without further ado, well, just kidding. It is going to be a little bit further ado. As you guys can see, I have some friends in the background. Why? Because I have a really sick Furby obsession and Sam hates them. It's not okay. It is very okay. I love each one of them with my heart. These guys are all in boxes, and I recently just got her. This is Carla. She is an elongated Furby. She's from the new generation, and as you can tell, she is elongated with the slinky because, yes, so she's actually my only one that can talk. Yes, let's find colors. Oh, I love her so much. She's so cute. Okay, tell everybody goodbye. Now. That's right. She listens to me. So there's Carla, and then it's crazy because I literally just got him in the mail today. Literally arrived maybe an hour ago. Is my new little guy. So I got him unboxed because I'm gonna turn him into an elongated Furby. But I am a little sketched out because I put him into the casting seat. So the casting couch. Can you see my shirt? Okay. Into the seat, and he moved. So he moved not once, not twice, but 3 times, getting himself out of the frame. I haven't had any issues with any other of my Furbies, but her eyes follow you.
I really dig Grumbles. Like
Grumbles! And so, the first story that I have for you guys today is, guess what?
Chicken butt?
Furbies. Son of a bitch. Furbies. So, Furbies come with 3 phrases that they say. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I love you. Well, this man, I don't know why he decided to get a Furby, but he did. Honestly, probably just like me. Saw him one day and decided to say, hell yes, I want a Furby. So in other words, mentally unstable. Yes. And he got his in the mail, and it was a little black one, just like my guy right there. Say hi, my guy.
So,
if you said hi, I would be so upset.
Hello. He really enjoyed it for like the first few months, and then after a while, he ended up just kind of forgetting about it. And then one day he walked past the Furby, and it goes, brr. It starts burring, and he's like, didn't think that was one of Furby's lines. Hello? Why? Well, it kind of... Yeah. So it kind of freaked him out. So he took the batteries out, and lo and behold, he walks past it again, and it goes... Brr. And he's like, fuck that. He pulled the Sam, and he ran a bath, threw the Furby in the bath. Nothing happened to it, and it's still going...
No. Because of some cold ass water.
So then he takes the Furby, puts the Furby in a microwave, and as it explodes, it says, "Island." Why it says island, I don't know. But the Furby goes, "Ah," like opens its little mouth, just like this guy, just like, "Ah," opens his mouth and screams, "Island." So he's like, so what happens is a little bit later, about 2-3 weeks later, it's his little nephew's birthday party. And out of nowhere, he gets a package at the door, he opens it up, and lo and behold, it's a black Furby. Nobody knows why he got it, who sent it to him, it just says happy birthday with a fucking black Furby. And he's like, oh yay, well the little kid loved this thing, absolutely adored it. And the brother, or the whatever relation he was to his nephew.
His brother's wife, dear.
Yeah, he's talking to his brother's wife. And they're listening, and there's a whole ass birthday party going on. And this kid is just stuck in his room with his Furby. He just wants nothing to do but to play with his Furby. And he's like, I don't know, I don't trust that thing. So he goes up and he starts to listen. And the Furby is not saying one of his 3 phases. He is saying a full-blown story. Saying, friends, island, murder, monster, he's eating us. Come to the island. Join me at the island. And this guy is like, I'm gonna stop this. So he takes the Furby and he goes to pull the batteries out. There was no batteries in it. The batteries were missing. And so he takes the Furby, he beats the crap out of it with a hammer and buries it in the backyard, which I don't think is like the best solution. I honestly think blowing it up in the microwave was the best solution, but
Kill it with fire.
mm-hmm.
That's the only answer.
Gasoline bath?
We got some creative thinkers over here.
Throw them in a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
And then set the leaves on fire.
No. Whatever demolishes the Furby. Especially that damn centipede one.
Her name is Carla. Anyway.
Carla's a demon.
Maybe.
Did
No,
you
she's
name-
an X-seed.
Does Grumbles have a name?
Grumbles?
What is
Grumbles.
it, Grumbles?
But it's crazy because the Furby movie is literally about Furbies saving their friends from the island of people that are trying to steal Furbies. And this whole thing happened before the Furby movie came out.
Like how, what's the time difference?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was just a Reddit post. I just read it, so.
Because I was thinking if it's close enough, it could have been like a advertisement ploy.
What kind of advertisement? Hey, we're gonna freak your fucking kids out.
So no one buys a Furby again.
Murder!
That's how we make money.
Because that's one of the reasons why people buy Furbies is because they freak people out.
Yeah.
They're cute and they're creepy.
I do it to ward the weak away. You're not weak. No, I was gonna say she's not weak.
You're weak.
She puts up with them. She sits there.
Fatality.
She sits there, looks at them, and goes, "I hate you," and then they go, "Meh," and she's like, "No."
It's a small world after all. Surrounded by Furbies. It's a small world after all. Okay.
If I ever go to bed and it's on my pillow when I wake up, that the house will burn.
Don't burn my
You need like
Furbies,
a-
my house,
You
everything.
need like a mixture between the clown from It and the Furby mixed together. That seems really terrifying.
That actually sounds really cool. I write short stories. If you want me to write a short story about that, let me know. And I will tell it.
Oh please, if you do it, I want to be here.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright. So second story.
It's real. It's 100% real. It's not just a Reddit post, and I thought it was something that I saw.
This doll actually has a museum to itself. And has been known through history. In fact, in the 1800s, and there's 3 theories surrounding this doll. And this doll is actually the inspiration to create Chucky.
Alright, I'm down.
So this is the story of Robert the doll. Now, if any of you have seen the movie The Boy, or if you guys have seen Chucky, you'll see a lot of similarities. But so this starts in the late 1800s, where black magic and voodoo magic were heavily used along with slave owners and stuff like that. Well, the story surrounding this, and here I'm going to explain the three theories first. The mother was a absolute BS. Absolute BS. Okay? She was rude to her workers and just belittled them and treated them like crap, and black magic is around. So what do? They don't go after her. She pays their bills, or technically they're owned by her. She is their bills. So they got fed up with it one day, and they knew that she had a son. So what they did is, and she caught them doing this, and it does say in the articles that she caught them doing this several times, using black magic. But it says that they made a voodoo doll and cursed it with black magic, and when she wasn't looking, gave it to her son. Because nobody knows how he got this doll. He showed up one day and said, "Mom, I really like this doll. I want it. I love it." And she's like, "Okay, I mean, I see nothing wrong with it. Whatever. What's its name?" And he says, "Robert." Now, Eugene, his first name was Robert, but he went by Eugene. I get that. My dad's first name is Robert, and he doesn't like that either. Nobody wants to be named Robert. Not even the doll. And that's the whole reason he's a dick. Okay? I know. So that's the first theory. The second theory is they had a nanny, and the nanny was having an affair with the dad, or, well, the dad was having an affair with the nanny. And the nanny was very much, "I want people to know, I want you to myself, I want to love you, be with you, whatever, leave your wife, fuck your kid," like, and the father just kept saying, no, not about it, not gonna do it, So she got mad. So she cursed the doll with black voodoo magic, brought it in, and cursed their family. Now, the final theory, which is kind of more of a sad theory, is, again, the nanny. Her husband had died, and she had a little boy. So, using the voodoo magic, she put her husband's soul into Robert the doll. And, that was her way of letting her son have this doll, carry him around, and be with his father. But one day, Eugene said, "I like that doll beef. I'ma take it." So, he ends up taking the doll. And the nanny is like, hey, no. Like, that's a personal thing. No, we need that doll back. Give it back. And the mom steps in and is like, "Hell no. My son likes this doll. He's gonna keep it." Ending up firing her, destroying their life, and leaving the father's soul inside Robert the doll to haunt this family that he just got torn apart from his family for. So he just said,
"Fuck you guys, I'm gonna curse you, your child, your next child, your next family, through and through.
Fuck you guys." So those are the three theories behind it. But when we go off, Eugene gets Robert, and they're inseparable. He's taking him to the dinner table. He says that he's part of the family. He's doing everything with this doll, like walking around with it. It's just inseparable. It seems normal. Like, I don't know, have you guys ever had like a toy that you were like inseparable from? Like,
Oh yeah, Rescue Hero.
yeah, and like I still have my bunny. Like, I have a bunny that I sleep with, and is that no? I still have a bunny that I sleep with, and like I was inseparable from it when I was younger. I was like, I love this bunny, it's mine, whatever, and like I get it, but I did not go insane by it. Well, everything was normal for the first few weeks, up until Eugene started having some weird like outbreaks. He would do bad things and blame it on the doll, saying that the doll told him to do it, or saying that the doll did it himself. Parents didn't like it, thought he was just a lying sack of POS. So them getting mad at him, they would ground him from the doll, and then strange things would happen. Things would break in the house, and they just blamed Eugene, saying like, "You just can't throw fits because you don't like what we're doing." Well, when they would go out, they would make him leave the doll at home. Doll didn't like that. And neighbors would reportedly be like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but that doll is moving around the house by itself. Like, get it exercised.
Wait.
How did they see that though?
So they would leave their blinds open.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
like,
so was it like walking?
I don't know. They just said that they would see the doll moving around the house by itself and they knew that they weren't home. And like, it showed a picture of the house itself. So it's like facing frontward, there is an open window, like you could see into their front living room. And there was a stool that Robert would sit on. And then it showed their like staircase if you looked like over to the side, and then they had an attic, and the attic was also open with windows as well. Like, it was this beautiful like glass window type thing that you can look in, so like it was pretty apparent. You could see what was going on in their house. I don't know if like the wife was just like, if you want to cheat on me, everybody gonna know. Apparently not. The nanny got away with it. Anyway, there would be reports of the doll moving around the house by itself, moving shit, just, and they would come back, and sure enough, the doll's in a different room. And they're like, why? Well, Eugene would keep Robert by his bedside. So when he would sleep, he had a stool, and he would put Robert on, and Robert would watch him sleep.
No.
I don't know why. What compelled this child to do this. If Robert said, hey, let me watch you sleep, even as a child, they'd be like, I kind of don't want my doll to watch me sleep. Like, not a fan.
See, that's a rational fear right there, having someone watch you while you're sleeping.
I mean, well, I guess if you're paranoid that something bad's gonna happen, like, let's say they did have like daddy issues, he was afraid daddy was gonna come in and hurt him, I would want somebody watching and making sure nobody came into the room, but that wasn't the case. Anyway, and at night, the parents would start hearing this massive like screaming and yelling coming from Eugene's room. And they'd run down and everything be flipped over, furniture was destroyed, and Eugene would be in his bed either dead asleep or sobbing and say, Robert did it. It wasn't me, I can't do this. But there was evidence behind that he wasn't the one that did it.
How would you not burn that doll? Like, as the parents, like, how would you let it get to this point and be like, honey, it's gotta go?
They just probably think that their kid's acting out and they're skeptical that there is a possessed doll.
Either way, Robert's gotta go.
Think it's a bunch of hocus pocus.
Right? If they're blaming Robert, then like, okay, kid, this is obviously a bad influence on you. I'm gonna give you a reason to blame yourself. Like,
Yeah, like they probably just want him to take responsibility for what he did, so that's why they're...
Robert's still gotta go.
District
I don't care.
yeah, Robert's gotta go. After a while of the shenanigans, parents said that. But instead of getting rid of the doll, they put it upstairs in the attic.
No.
Everything that's ever bad that happens in a home either happens in the attic, in the basement, or in one of the rooms. Like a kid's room.
Well,
We're striking 2 out of 3 here. We're hitting hot. This is a hot and heavy story.
they would hear it upstairs running around, and they would just ignore it. And it would yell, it would hit the floors, and they would just ignore it. Eventually, Eugene grew up, moved out, got away, and his mom and dad die, and he gets to move back into the house.
Oh, hell no.
Moving back into the house, he brings his new wife. Guess what never went away?
Robert? Because demons don't die?
Not only Robert, but his fascination with Robert. He had always been upset that they took his friend. But he didn't want to break their rules, and so they let him take him up to the attic, and so he went up there, and sure enough, Robert was still there, waiting. So
I'm sorry, but that thing's gotta go.
his wife hated Robert. Said, you gotta get rid of that goddamn doll. Gives me nightmares.
Lisa.
Angels Furbies.
I love them. Even this one that...
In other words, if he blinks even once, Moo Cow gotta go.
Okay, anyway. Eugene starts to get extremely obsessed with this doll. Again, he starts carrying it everywhere, and the wife was like, haha, no, 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 that's not a son, that is not a child, stop it. And instead of getting rid of it, it gets worse. Every time they would fight about getting rid of the doll, he would throw these major fits where it was just like he lost his mind. He would break things in the house to the point that he would even beat her. But as he did it, it didn't sound like him. Did not sound like him. And then he would pass out, wake up, and not remember it. Or he would stop in the middle of it and say, Robert, stop! Robert, stop! Nay, nay. It got so bad that until he died, Robert would sit in that same chair and watch him and his wife sleep. Well, they die, new people move in, whatever. Somehow, the only thing that's left in this house is Robert. And Robert is left in the attic. And the next little girl, 10 years old, found Robert in the attic and immediately started hearing Robert talk to her. Followed these same steps to the point that the family was like, fuck it. And now he's in a museum. Now, it's crazy because he's in this museum, and if you do not ask permission to take a picture of it, batteries in your camera will start to fuck up, the pictures will be fuzzy, and if you don't ask permission, there has been known curses, so it'll be literally within a week later, people getting in car accidents, people dying, people getting extremely sick, and they all blame Robert. And the one way to fix the curse is if you write him a letter saying you're sorry for taking his picture without permission.
But who are you supposed to ask permission? Robert?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know if he says yes?
You don't. You just have to ask. That's a rule of Robert's. I don't fucking know. I haven't gone to go see the doll, but I did watch videos of people going up to it, and most people, when they go to it, like, they say in the video, like, they're not gonna ask for permission, but, like, you can literally see them walk up to it and go, think about it, and go, can I take your picture? And people will be like, I thought you were gonna ask permission, and they're like, I got a different feeling about it. And what I'll do is I'll pop a picture somewhere in here, preferably in between the Furbies, of Robert the doll, because he is a creepy SOB. Oh my god. I'm like, ew, it looks like your face is made out of corks. He's probably gonna come haunt me now because I'm
It's like, you're ugly, but that's fine. I like ugly things, just not you.
Now I have one more story, which happens to be my favorite story because all of these stories. Oh my god! Oh fuck! I moved him. Okay, Sam, you're making me afraid of them.
Why? They're terrifying. He looks like he holds a grudge.
Yeah.
He really does.
He was like, I'm tired of this. I'm done with this.
Can you sit there? Yes, he can. Okay. Is it weird?
Yes, it's weird. What's wrong with you?
Honestly, though, like, I would rock it as a fashion.
No.
Like, just
He
rock
looks
the
like he's
fur
getting
around
madder and madder the more he's.
You're a modern day memester hip pirate. That's what you are.
I'm a hipster pirate. Instead of parrots, I have Furbies. They're kind of like birds.
This is the new fashion right here.
Hell yeah.
If you start something, I will kill you. I can't go to Walmart and see that. It'll be like Gucci, okay? It'll be like, oh, look which one I got.
Look, I got a Gucci Furby. Okay, so I have the final story, which I think is outstandingly better than the rest because it has such a different twist on don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
It fell.
It falls and slits my throat. So,
Alright, I'm ready.
the way it starts is the camera's panning down, and this is a short film, and I'm gonna put the short film in the description below so that way you guys can see it because it's really, really good. It's well done. But it starts off and it's showing the camera panned down at a little boy about 5 years old, and he's in a casket, and you don't see any people, but you hear a woman on the phone, and she goes, I just want him back. And then a guy says, well, if you want him back, I just need 3 things from you. An article of clothing that he's worn at least once, not washed. a lock of his hair and something that he cherished, something that he loved and could not part from. So the mom goes, okay. And then it's a pause and she goes, does this really work? And he goes, well, nobody's asked for their money back. So then it shows the man, and he's in their house now. And he has this wooden crate. And he sets the crate down, and the mom's looking at it, and you can tell she's excited. She's like, I just want to see what's inside. Like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. And he opens up the crate, and it's this crappy, doofy, honestly really creepy looking doll. And you can tell the mom's like disappointed. She's sad at what she's looking at because this is not what she was expecting. She doesn't know what she doesn't even really know what this is. She's like, why did you do this? Why did you bring this to me? And he's like, well, what do you think? What do you think? And she's not responding because she's just like, why? And she's heartbroken at this point. Her son died and she's expecting something nice, and she gets this. And the dad stands up, and he comes out of nowhere too. Like, I'm like, oh wow, you were there the whole time. He stands up and it looks like a shitty overpriced doll. The guy looks at him and he goes, looks at the wife and says, hold him. So she picks up the doll, and as soon as she touches him, it turns into her son. And she holds him and she's like, my boy, my boy, my boy. And he's interacting with her, and he's, Mom, I missed you. And he's holding her. And the dad is watching her, but it's just the doll. So he looks at this guy, and he's like, what the hell are you doing? He goes, touch his hand, because the boy's hand's out. So the dad looks at him and grabs his hand. But as soon as he grabs his hand, turns his head, he goes, Daddy! He jumps back, what the hell? He's like, and he starts shaking his head. He goes, no, we need to think about this. We need to come up with a decision. And she immediately hands an envelope of money and goes, here's the rest of the money. I got my son, I'm taking it. And the dad's like, the guy that made the doll, he's happy. He's like, okay, well, I have to go over a few rules, instructions with you. They're like, okay, what do we need to do? Like, what's going on? He goes, in this house is where your son's energy lies. In this house is where his vessel stayed. Outside of the house is not. His energy is now gone. So he opens up the door, she's holding the doll. And as soon as she steps outside, it turns back into a doll. And she's like, no. So she steps back inside. And she like walks to the kitchen, and the husband turns and looks at the guy that made the doll, and he goes, why do I feel like your instructions have a lot of hidden warnings? And the guy that made the doll goes, no, not a lot, but there is one. And he hands him an hourglass. And the guy's like, what do you want me to do with this? He's like, well, this is the amount of time you have with him. Once the sand runs out, you put him back in the wooden crate, and you wait 24 hours, flip it back over, and you have this amount of time with him again. He goes, don't go over it. He goes, well, what happens if I do? Like, does he come to life? Does he kill us? Like, what's going on? And he goes, no. Think about it. It's like a drug. Once you've gone through something tragic and you find something that mends that, you're going to start getting addicted to it. You will have it out longer than this time. It allows your mind to start being fed with its lies, that it is your real son, that it is alive, that he really is here. Soon, you're going to forget about how he died, when he died. You're going to forget you ever came to me. you're gonna see it get up and move and do everything on its own. It's gonna be living. It's gonna be alive.
See, but that's painful. Like, it's feel like every day you'd have to put it back in the crate. It's like losing your son all over again. I'd rather just not have the doll.
Yeah, same. I would rather just deal with the pain and, you know, understand that that's something that happened.
Yeah, because I mean, no matter what, that doll will never actually be your son.
Yeah, no, exactly. It'll never actually be your son, but some people need this kind of, well, not even need. I don't think they need it. I think
They want it.
Yeah, they want it.
I wonder, whatever he did to this doll, does the person or doll know about its existence?
No. No. I just think it doesn't know. It's dead. It's literally the energy, the soul that was in the house, living in that doll. And then coming to life by those who touch it. Well, okay, so he gets these warnings. And he's like, okay. And then what happens is it pans. Like it does a time skip. And the husband's coming out. And he looks at the kitchen table. And he sees his wife holding their son. And he sees the doll, just the doll, being fed food. And it's just covered in food. Like it's just been there. And she's like, oh baby. Like, and he goes, you spent another night with it. I told you to put it back in the crate. She goes, why would I put him in a crate? This is our son. I don't want to put him in a crate. And he's like, no. So he sits down and he looks at her. He goes, I told you. After the funeral, I told you I would be strong for us. I told you that whatever you needed to do, we would do. I told you that your pain was mine and I can help get us through this. And then he goes, but it's getting too far. You need help. You need to put him back in the crate or I need to show you. And she's like, show me what? What do you mean? And then she pauses. She goes, but what funeral? So he grabs her and he's starting to force her out the door. And she's going, no, he doesn't want to go outside. He doesn't want to go outside. And he's like, no, you have to come with me. So he's yanking her outside and like it looks bad. It's not abuse, like, but he's pulling her. She's putting him up a fight. And as soon as he opens the door, in his hands falls the doll of his son and his wife, a doll with their son sewn to her hands. And he starts to remember what happened. Their son did die and they did get this doll. And that same thing that happened. She was obsessed. He took her outside and it turned into a doll in her arms. He remembers telling her, no, I'm sorry. I had to tell you you were losing it. I didn't want it to control you. I didn't want you to lose sight of reality. And she says, I can't talk to you. And she goes upstairs. And he's thinking, he's sitting on the couch and he's just giving her time. But that little bit of time he gave her was too much. He goes upstairs and she has killed herself with the doll of their son in her arms because the pain of remembering that their son was dead was too much. And you see these memories playing in the back of his head and you hear him as he stares at his dead wife explaining what happened, and the guy on the phone goes, well, I gave you the warning. I told you what to do. I can't help you. And he goes, I just want her back. He goes, well, if you want her back, all I need is an article of clothing that she wore at least once, a lock of her hair, and something she cherished so deeply. And he did that, giving all of the son to him was something that she cherished really deeply, that she was inseparable from. And then he goes, does it work on adults? He goes, well, nobody's asked for my money back, or asked for their money back. And then it shows him holding the dolls, walking inside and then coming back to life. And then it pans over at piles of mail and bills. And then it shows about 5 or 6 hourglasses that have been broken, beaten. So you know that he's just been reliving this nightmare over and over again.
That's not okay.
And so I like this one because it's not a dog gets possessed and murders people. It's literally just how strong the human brain is. It's how much you want to repress something that you can create your own reality out of it. And how something so, even though he might have done something to the doll to make it to where like it comes to life, or honestly like there's ways, like my mom, I used to be afraid of monsters. Haha, I wonder why. I used to be afraid of monsters because, well.
If you guys want to know my paranormal stories, I've gone through a lot of paranormal things and supernatural things and all these crazy things between me, my cousins, and my friends. Our family has been like awkwardly possessed, or not possessed, been haunted for a long time, and so they realized that later. But
I was deathly afraid, but my mom would get monster spray, which she made by herself. And all it was water with lavender scent in it. And I believed that shit worked and it killed all monsters. So like, how do you guys feel about that story? Because to me, when I heard it, it broke me. I cried at my desk and my boss was like, what? And I'm like, scary stories. Scary stories.
It definitely didn't play out as I expected it to. I thought like I thought that all three of them were gonna wind up being dolled in the end. Like they couldn't live without each other, so they made themselves dolls so they could stay together forever.
Some like Coraline thing.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting it to go, and it definitely went into a more darker
Fuck your
route.
feelings.
Yeah, I was
Realm.
it went honestly the way I felt when you finished it is the way I felt when I watched The Fog.
Oh.
Where, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert for any of you that have not seen The Fog. Continue. The Fog or The Mist, because they're both two different movies.
It's The Mist.
Okay. Oh god, this ending. Okay, I'm kind of sinister. The ending to this, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, you fucking idiot.
My jaw was like dropped. Basically, he has a revolver and there's 5 people in the van, but he only has 4 bullets.
So mind you, one is a couple that is like they're in love and help them get out of it. One is his new girlfriend and the last is his son.
And so normally their only way out, because the car died, they can't leave the car, otherwise they'll die from the creatures. So in order to perform mercy, he shoots everyone else in the car because he only has 4 bullets. So he shoots his wife, he shoots his son, and he shoots the couple in the back. And he tries to kill himself, but there's no more
Bullets?
Nobody bullets.
And he knew this, but he promised his son that he wouldn't let the monsters get him. So in order to keep his promise, he killed his own son and let himself get eaten by the monsters, or was going to.
And then went and stepped out into the mist.
And guess what happened? The army came!
So he didn't die. If he would have just waited 5 minutes, everyone would have been alive, and he wouldn't have just killed his wife, his kid, and 2 other people.
I was like, damn! That sucks!
The way you feel right now, because it looks like you've never seen this, but the way you feel right now with that twist is how I just felt with the story. Jaw dropped, like, not this way.
It's just not okay. There's no other way to sum it up other than I'm not okay.
And I love
fucked up endings like that.
Yeah, like I've played Alan Wake. If any of you have loved horror games like I do, like Alan Wake is a good one. Evil Dead or The Evil Within. It plays that psychological thrill where it doesn't have to be monster scary. It's just it plays on our most realistic fear.
Exactly, it plays on the most realistic fear. It's not so. If you guys I've ever read Stephen King, he goes over the different types of fear. So one of them being terror, one of them being horror, and one of them being gross. gross entails things like bugs or like guts, like gory, like you can't handle it, just like no. Horror is slasher like films where you're afraid of somebody. It's like Freddy versus Jason, like, or well, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, like that kind of thing. Terror is more like paranormal. It's more like things that you can't control and stuff like that. I actually did a full-on report on all of this, and it passed, so that was cool. But it was really cool because you could see what category they fall in, and Stephen King was really good at pinpointing those fears and making sure that everybody was afraid in each aspect of fear. Like it, if you guys haven't seen it, he embellishes each one of their fears. One of them was afraid of germs, so he executed that. One of them was afraid of something real, something terror, so terror, like their father. The other one was afraid of clowns, so something that's horror. And you know, he's just really good at pinpointing each category of fear itself. I think there's another one though, and that's just what my whole report was on, that it's the uncanny valley, the unknown. Mm. So the something that you are unsure about. So like when you look at robots that have almost human-like faces, but you know it's not human because there's just something off about it. It throws you into that uncanny valley, and some people are absolutely terrified of that. So I think that there's another type of horror than just the three that Stephen King mentioned personally.
I fuck with it.
Alright, well, that's the story we have for today, or stories we have for today. Everybody, say goodbye to the Furby gang.
Bye-bye.
Check out our podcast coming up, the Miscreants podcast. We're going to be going over My Hero Academia. After that, we're going to be going over Sonic movie. Oh crap, I still need to watch that.
Same!
Alright, we got it. Right before the podcast, we got it. And then we're going to be playing a little game, so make sure to, if you don't like this video, like it. If you like it, like it. I don't care either way. Please subscribe, hit the bell, or don't hit the bell, just subscribe, one of the two. Don't do drugs. I mean, yeah, don't do drugs unless they're prescribed to you. Like, if they're prescribed to you, just don't get addicted to them. If you get addicted to them, then that's not okay. Stop smoking. That's not a drug. Wait, yeah, it is a drug. Don't, it's not a drug. It's not a drug.
Stay in school.
Yeah, stay in school, but don't talk to strangers.
Dare.
Make good choices. Wait to drink until you're 21. I don't know. Goodbye, guys.